friend of mine always says that I'm not even using 50% of my gifts yet, because it's still unraveling. Every year there's something coming up. There's a lot of work. As I was telling you, that I'm doing a lot of work healing ancestors and cleansing ancestors and helping them transition, because that's what I realized, that it's probably also my journey. This is one of my callings, because I've been doing the work for a year. I was actually telling a client that I started cleansing my ancestors a year ago, and it never stops. Hey, when I think I'm done, and more come, they need cleansing. That I need to do rituals, and I cleanse them and I release them. Last week's Sunday, I was doing another ritual to cleanse. It was ceremony by the river to cleanse my ancestors and to free some of them, and to do prayers for their healing as well, because we also forget the fact that our ancestors need healing, because they've also lived on this world, and sometimes they come back to heal, and we don't pay much attention to that, to be cleansed and to be released and to heal. So that is mostly the work that I've been doing for a year now. Yeah, which is also around healing myself.
Indeed. Yeah. I was going to say, if you could elaborate a bit more on that, because we actually do have an article on our website that also addresses this whole concept of cleansing ancestors, and that was actually written by another South African featured writer of ours who came on board to help with this. And it's always fascinated me, and it's something that I've recently started to do, because there's work to be done. As we know, we've all got ancestors in our lineage who weren't necessarily the most upright standing citizens whilst they were here, but then who is at the end of the day. But as we know, we do carry a lot of baggage within us. So I just wanted you to elaborate more on what you do, because you mentioned that you go down to the river. If you can tell us, like, just to give us an idea on what type of rituals are carried out.
It's mostly cleansing rituals. The first ritual I did last year after I had a dream. So in my dream, I had found a job, actually. As I was just about to go through, the security checks, there was this woman who was blocking my, passing through, because the moment I tried to walk through there would be somebody opening for me. But the moment they open, when I'm about to go through, she would try to go through. So it would close. So I called one of my mentors. I was really upset. Hey, I remember I was so angry, saying that somebody is bewitching me, somebody's doing shit to me. And then I call him and I say to him, I had this dream. And then he says to me, from what I can pick up from your dream is that you have ancestors that are blocking, that need to transition and move on to the other side. And they need to be cleansing, because the lady was wearing she was wearing white clothes, but they were not clean. So he said to me, you need to cleanse them. You need to bring them forward and cleanse them. So the process started I did the process for a week, not a week, I'm lying, for a month. It spent for about a month. Whoa. Because I had to do prayers first. There's an infusion that we use, as a blend of herbs, and we whip it. It brings out the foam, and then we eat that. And he said to me, you need to bring them close. You need to invite them to come through into your space so that you can cleanse them. And then he told me what herbs to get for steaming and cleansing, to kickstart the cleansing process. Mm-hmm. So I did that for a week, and I remember. I did that for a week, and the weekend, then I went and bought chickens to do the process. And which was funny, because he had told me what to do, but then, intuitively I was told what to add, what to do that. And then I would come back. I remember before I did, because he had told me what color chicken that I needed to get. So a week before then, they started showing me the color of the chickens that they wanted me to get. And he was quite amused that my ancestor was very communicative. He was like, they don't take long to answer. I'm like, no, these are my people. These are my comrades. So I did the ritual on the Sunday, the cleansing ritual. I went out to the bush to cleanse them, and then I came back home and I did to cleanse the ones that I had home. And then the very same evening, I guess the next morning, I had a dream that there's more who needed to be cleansed. Yeah. And I called him, I'm like, dude, these people came back. They were wearing black. It's like, oh no, you need to do more cleansing. I'm like, okay. So that is why it spanned out for a month, because more would come through who needed cleansing. So I would I would cleanse today, more would come. So it went on for a long time. So yeah. So it's
Wow.
never ending work actually, because this is what I've learned, because I started last year and I'm still doing the healing work. I'm still healing them. And I think this started the moment I moved back home. After I said that, I realized that if they don't want the best for me, then they're not the best for me themselves. And if they don't want me happy, it means that they're not happy themselves. They need to heal. So just before I moved back home from my grandparents' house, I started praying for them. I would say, God, my ancestors are dark. They don't want me to be happy. Like they're standing in the way of my happiness. They don't want me to work. Please save them. Please cleanse them.